So let's talk about real estate. You know, the industry that handles maybe the biggest purchase of our entire lives, but has somehow felt, well, stuck in a time warp. A brand new alliance is finally shaking things up, forcing a conversation that is, frankly, way overdue. Let's get into it.
And wow, this quote from someone inside the industry just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of whiplash. You're living in this fast-paced digital world, and then you step into your real estate career, and bam, you're back in the analog age. This one sentence really sets the stage for the big shakeup we're about to unpack.
Okay, so let's really dig into this whole time machine idea. What did it actually look like? And why on earth has it been so hard for the industry to change?
And I mean, just look at this contrast. It is wild. On one side, you have the modern marketing world. It's all about data, being super efficient, knowing who you're talking to. And on the other side, the real estate world from just a few years ago, still running on yard signs and paper flyers in little boxes. It was a completely analog system trying to function in a digital world.
Now, to be super clear, this wasn't about agents not working hard or being lazy. Not at all. The problem was way deeper. It was systemic. The actual foundation of the industry, the tech, the rules, the way information moved around, it just hadn't kept up with the times.
And this is where things really start to clash. You have this clunky, old-fashioned infrastructure running right up against what we, as modern consumers, expect out of, well, everything.
At the absolute heart of this traditional system is something called the MLS, the Multiple Listing Service. Think of it like the Grand Central Station for property listings. It's the central database where agents have shared info with each other for decades. It's been the bedrock of the whole system.
And this is how it worked, step by step. A listing followed this very rigid, straight line. First, it had to go into the MLS. Then, that data would slowly trickle out to other real estate companies, and eventually it would pop up on the big websites you and I use. It was orderly, sure, but fast? No way.
But here's the massive disconnect. Buyers today, we don't care about all that backstage industry stuff. We just want what we get from Amazon, from Netflix, from everything else. Instant access. We want to see everything that's for sale, right now. And you know what? We even want a sneak peek at what's about to be for sale.
So you've got this growing tension, right? Between this old, slow system and these brand new consumer expectations. You just knew something had to give. And it did. A new alliance showed up to really challenge how things have always been done.
You got to remember, for as long as anyone can remember, the way real estate info flowed was locked down. It followed these very formal, established channels. It was predictable, it was controlled, and yeah, it was slow.
Until now.
Okay, so here's the big move. 3 huge names, the brokerage Compass, the mortgage giant Rocket Companies, and the massive search portal Redfin, they've all teamed up. And their plan is to take listings that are coming soon from Compass and put them directly onto Redfin's website, basically creating a shortcut that bypasses that slow, traditional MLS route, at least at first.
The impact of this is, well, it's huge. Before this, these pre-market listings were pretty much only seen by people inside the Compass network. But now, by putting them on Redfin, their visibility just explodes. We're talking a massive national audience of buyers getting a look way before the listing ever makes it to the MLS.
But of course, whenever you shake things up this much, it gets people talking. And not everyone is happy. Is this genuine progress that helps buyers and sellers, or is it really just a power play by a few giant companies?
And that's the big question on everyone's mind in the industry. Does giving some listings early exposure on one specific platform make the market better for everyone, or does it create a kind of unfair advantage?
And look, there are really good arguments on both sides. The author of our source materials sees this as a huge, necessary step forward. It's about modernizing, putting consumers first, and trying new things. But the critics? They worry it puts too much power in the hands of a few big players. And they're asking some really fair questions about whether it's good for the whole market.
This quote right here really cuts to the heart of the author's argument. It's like, look, we can debate the pros and cons of this new alliance all day long, but just defending the old, broken system, that's not a strategy for the future. Doing nothing is actually a choice, and probably the wrong one.
And you know, to really understand today's debate, it helps to just take a quick look back. Because this kind of pushback against change, it's a story as old as the real estate industry itself. I mean, think about it. The idea of putting property listings online was once seen as totally radical, a threat to the business. Digital signatures were controversial. Even just advertising on the big search portals was a huge debate.
Every single one of these innovations faced a ton of skepticism, and yet today they're just how business is done. This new debate is just the latest chapter.
So ultimately, we need to zoom out a little. This story isn't just about Compass and Redfin. It's about a much bigger shift. It's about whether an entire, massive industry can finally adapt to serve people who live and breathe real-time information in every other part of their lives.
So, where does this all leave us? Well, according to the source material, the future of this industry isn't going to be shaped by the people defending tradition. It's going to be shaped by those who are willing to change it.
The final verdict here is pretty clear. This alliance, it's not the perfect final solution. It's messy. It raises some tough questions. But in an industry that's been frozen in time for so long, it represents something incredibly important. A bold move, a challenge, and a real step forward.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question for the entire industry. This new alliance has dragged the issue out into the open. The choice isn't theoretical anymore. Will real estate finally evolve to serve the consumer of today, or will it try to cling to the comfortable traditions of yesterday? The answer is going to decide how all of us buy and sell our homes for years to come.